Hello, everybody. I just wanted to come and talk to you today about quick conversation of civil disrest and what kind of basically you're in for when order of things starts breaking down. If you were out during Black Friday, as I was and my wife, you noticed the mass amount of crowds that were out. And it wasn't as bad as some of the stuff I've seen on TV, but there was a lot of people, out here in Missouri. But one of the things was that if people are willing to trample people to save $25-30 on a TV, or to get a sale to save $1, imagine that same situation. Stop and think about it. And put yourself, what if that wasn't a sale? What if that was a grocery store? What if that was we seen it in New York with the gas rations when they went into a state of emergency for the gas. And then you seen the hyperinflation on the gas, or what's called price gouging that they were doing. What if that actually happened at the grocery store? What would you do during those kind of situations? And that's just to save a couple bucks on, on electronics. What if that was for food to feed your family? Stop and think of that scenario and ask yourself, what can I do to help prevent that where I don't have to follow the math. So I'm going to give you some tips on just a few things that you can put back. Almost everybody knows or should know that once anything ever goes down, as far as whether it be a hurricane, or some kind of major disaster as far as weather-wise, or like in Joplin here in Missouri, we had a big tornado. 3 days. And the stores will be completely empty. Now, in the case of a tornado or a hurricane, it's going to be empty way before that for people rushing out to get water and food. But just afterwards, it takes about 3 days for people to start really kind of going crazy as far as not eating and water before they actually start going completely cycle. It's actually scientifically been studied that people turn really violent, like a primal violency. It takes about 3 days with no food and water. But what you can put back, simple items when you go to the grocery store. Let's say most people don't like to store water. That's something that it takes up a lot of space. You figure you got some bottles of water. Most people drink bottled water now, so most people will have at least a couple days of water if anything ever happened to the water supply that they couldn't get to. Would have bottled water, even if it's taking a jug. Because here's what you got to think of: if you put water in a milk jug, or some kind of gallon jug, or water storage, and you use tap water is already chlorinated. It's already chlorinated. It's already disinfected. You can put it there, and it would last. It ain't going to stagnate. It's already got chlorine in it. So it'll last forever how long, so you can store it for. A lot of people you see now, they got big old 55-gallon drums off their rain catches. I never understood that. I don't know. That's a lot of openness to the water you're going to be drinking. So I know you're going to sterilize it and sanitize it, boil it off, or iodine tablet it, or a few drops of bleach and let it set for half hour, a few drops to a gallon, let it set for about 30 minutes, and now you have chlorinated water, and you're absolutely fine. You can also use, if you have a swimming pool, the actual chlorine, the powderized chlorine, is pretty much the same thing that is in your water that you drink. So a little bit of that goes a long way through, say a 5-gallon bucket is probably less than a tablespoon, teaspoon, whatever the smaller one is, of that. And like I said, let it set for about half hour, 45 minutes, and then you're able to drink it. always remember the case that if you can smell bleach in your water, if it's a slight hint, it's safe to drink. If it's strong to where it actually burns your nose, that you're going to have to add more water to it, or just don't drink it. You can probably bathe in it, or have to stand and wipe stuff down with it. But yeah, just think about that though. If the crowds were, what kind of food would you have? The main things are going to fly off the shelf, batteries, stuff like that. But as simple as you picking up a bag of beans. They're high in protein, a lot of carbs. They'll last. You can ration that out. Bag of rice, simple bag of rice. It lasts. Lasts for however long. It ain't gonna go stale. Stuff like that. But just to have something like that put up for at least 3 days. I read the FEMA reports, and they say everybody should have at least 3 days of emergency food. And I think 3 days is really probably not enough in all aspect. It takes longer than 3 days for really anybody to respond. Now we've seen twice so far. They really did an upgrade with that Hurricane Sandy. It took a pretty good while. And in my previous video when I was talking about that, I even said that it's going to take almost a week before they even respond, and it did. It was 7 days before they even had people go in, and that wasn't even for relief. That was just going in and assessing damage. And that's also another thing. The waiting on people and thinking, okay, I'll be all right. It's something. Yeah, they could have left, but they didn't. So it's their fault. That kind of thing. You're probably right, but some people didn't have a place to go. You had one governor say stay, and that's why that situation turned. Nobody was on the same page, and they didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was. But yeah, back to the main point though. What if those mass crowds were at food, at grocery stores for food instead of saving $1? It's kind of a scary thought, but you're going to see the same outcome and probably 20 times worse. As far as what people are going to do to save their family and make sure they have food to eat and survive a situation like that. Most people these days don't have any skills of being able to hunt, fish, anything like that. They think they can go to a grocery store. And even if they did kill something, then what? You know how to skin it, you know how to gut it, you know how to clean it, you know how to make sure that it don't have any bacteria or any kind of worms or infestation, I'll do a video on that, how you can check meat, and it's simple. After you kill something, how to look it over. Every animal shows in its liver, no matter what kind of disease, it will show up in the liver and in its kidneys. That's something you can always look at it. If they ain't dark and purple, if they had some kind of really weird discoloration, that's also bad. And also, if you ever, had to, the best way to check an animal is see if the meat's edible is if you go behind the neck and pull the hair. If the hair comes out, real simple, that meat is bad. It's actually no good to eat. I know it's deer hunting season. That's the way to check a deer. If you don't track your deer, you can't find it. Usually you got a day, 2 days, and then you start the bottom half of it really starts kind of going bad. But that's how you check it. Go pull the back of the hair. If it comes out real easy, the meat's no good. If it stays in, and you can tug on it and it stays in, that's usually a good sign. And then you just start checking its internals, make sure the meat will smell. You'll know the smell of rotting meat. You'll know it's bad. Usually it's the lower portions, like the back half of it, that starts turning green but first, and you can check that. But yeah, usually if you got deer, depending on the temperature, here in the Midwest, it's going to be kind of warm and it really been cold, so meat ain't going to keep too well. Plus, you have other animals like, if you don't get to it, they'll probably eat on it. You never want to eat if anything's been eaten on. But that's neither here or there. That's in a later situation after shit hits the fan and all that. But we can still go to the grocery store now and be happy people. So, but yeah, most people don't have those kind of skills, and they wouldn't even know where to start. It's just not going out and shooting something. I mean, there's more to it than that. So there's going to be a lot of people going hungry. So they're going to be crashing stores. But think about it and let me know what you think. Leave a little response, especially the family members that are going to watch this video. You guys haven't really commented on any of my videos, so I want to see how prepared you guys are, because I love you guys more than anything, and I want to make sure you guys get through it. So I can help you. This might save your life. Thank you.